Hi, my name is Caleb,
Hi, this is Jordan.
and this is the Life is Tough podcast.
And today, I actually want to bring up a topic from Mel Robbins. I know we just talked about her, and you said you didn't know who she was. She is a motivational speaker, and she has a new book coming out, which I know you've heard of her theory. It's been all over TikTok and YouTube and everything else. It's the let them theory. You've heard of that, right?
No, but I've heard some clips because you keep talking about it
Okay.
recently.
Have you heard, have you seen where people are getting the tattoos let them on them?
Mm.
No. Okay. So, what's a painful thought for you?
Like anything?
Yeah.
You dying?
Okay.
No.
So, we're going to look at it in a different aspect. So, another painful thought would be maybe I'm not good enough, right? Or I'm not smart enough, or I'm not pretty enough. Those type of painful thoughts. Those are also called what's called a limiting belief. Okay. Those are deep-seated thoughts from childhood. So could be even when I was pregnant with you, when you were a baby, anything. It could be from your environment, anybody that said anything around you, and you just automatically took on as a belief in your subconscious. It's not something we do on purpose. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So, like I said, these can come from past experiences. So, school, all the things you deal with in school, things that are said by other kids, maybe a teacher, maybe somebody that works in the office, any adult that said something to you, or even a kid that has a lasting effect on you. It's something you remember. And say a group of girls said that you weren't pretty when you were in grade school, okay? That limiting belief that you carry as you get older will keep you from trying to do things because of how you view yourself externally. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you recognize those painful thoughts, so the I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, those type of things, you allow yourself to start to shift that. So like during sports, for example, this is a great one for kids your age. So during sports, you guys start the game. So everything's going good. Softball, for example. So you guys are doing good. Your batting is going great. Your pitches are doing great. Your passes between players, everything is spot on. So you guys are hyped up. You know, you're playing, you're in a good mood, right? Okay. So say you switch and your team goes to the outfield, okay? And the other team's batting. They're doing better. They're getting home runs each time to home run. That feeling that you get, oh, I'm not good enough, the we suck type feeling, you can see it on the other players on your team, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the same as when you're winning and your team is cheering you on, you can feel the energy, right? You can feel that. It hypes you up out on that field. The same thing does with that limiting belief or that negative thought. It can take down your whole entire team in seconds, not minutes, but seconds. Like you can watch just by body language, right?
Yeah.
You can see when your team starts to feel defeated because they're slumping, they're not running as fast, they're not carrying as much. So those type of limiting beliefs, they affect you and make you question yourself.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So a key part of changing this, first off, is acknowledging it, what you're doing, right? So acknowledging this is a limiting belief or this is a painful thought. Does that make sense? So once you see it, you can't unsee it, right?
Yeah.
So another thing that I had written down to kind of, I had written down an analogy to kind of help people understand things a little bit better and how things can be different between people as we grow up with those limiting beliefs in our environment. And I'm going to read it to you, and then you tell me if that maybe makes a little bit more sense, okay?
Okay.
So everyone is born with perception, and how we see ourselves and our lives. Like we're born and you automatically are born with your own set of glasses, right? So you have your own glasses, your own lenses to see everything through. You can't see anything except through those lenses, okay? Our glasses are our perception. So when we are born, our experiences, so anything we experience as a baby through childhood, those experiences and fears and societal conditioning. So other kids saying, you can't wear that. That's ugly. You shouldn't wear that. Or you shouldn't do your hair like that. Who does that? You know, those are societal type things. So our personal glasses and our lenses get adjusted. So, you know, like when you're at the eye doctor and they take that thing and they adjust it to affect how you see.
Yeah.
So each time you get a limiting belief, it adjusts your lens. So you're going to view life just a little bit differently with each little adjustment. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So as we grow, and the more life throws at us and stuff that we haven't worked through, it adjusts our lens each time, making things less and less clear. Maybe you're not understanding things. It makes it less clear, and you're not sure. Like, you question yourself.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So to correct this, what we need to do is we need to acknowledge each limiting belief, right? Because once you see it, you can't unsee it, right? So then we need to question whether it's true or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about that even since you were little, right? So our fears and things like that. So one of the things was, I'm not good enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
You hear that a lot with kids, teenagers, with driving, jobs, homework, school, all of it, right? I'm not good enough. Is it true? Right? We've talked about that. And as I've worked with you kids to work through things, we'd go over why those things aren't true, right?
Yeah.
I'd have you point out a few things as to why they're not true. By doing this, it allows us to readjust that lens back. So you're clearing it. Each time you acknowledge it and you're questioning it, whether it's true. So it changes how much it's sticking with you. So it doesn't stay with you for your whole life as you work through those. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So as you go, you're gradually clearing your vision and allowing you to see yourself and your life as a whole as they truly are without that extra distortion.
Okay.
Does that analogy help you understand things a little bit better?
Yeah.
Do you have any questions? Does it make
No.
sense?
Yeah, sort of.
Sort of. What, is there anything you didn't really understand?
No, not really. I
Or is
guess
it just because
like
it's a new concept
new
for you?
concept.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I understand that. So what this does is it allows us to see the world as it is, but also as we are.
Okay.
And then the healing and the transformation part, I think, is the biggest thing for everybody, because those limiting beliefs and those emotions kind of get stuck. Like, because when you go back and you think about those painful experiences or those painful times, those thoughts, there's always an emotion that you feel, right, that you have to feel and you have to process it. But what most people don't know is with emotion, it's not supposed to stay. You're supposed to process it in 90 seconds or less. For an example, so we know that animals are supposed to get traumatic experiences out of their system. So we have been watching a couple eagles give birth and mate and stuff here recently. And after each birth, because of the event, it causes so much energy and stored up emotion with the traumatic event that it is. Not that it's scary or, nothing happened to her. It's just the event itself is a trauma type event.
Yeah.
How you handle the trauma is how it will impact you later on in life. These animals know that after this trauma, they have to get that energy out. Like, they have to move. So instead of just staying still, that eagle, she got up and she did a big old shake to get that energy out. So like the dogs, you know how like they get the zoomies? Because they get all that pent up excitement, that energy has to come out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Us as people, that's something we don't do. right? So people like to sit in their rooms and just kind of like wallow in it and their self-pity and their sadness. They let those thoughts spiral and it just compounds and it becomes a giant mess, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've seen the dogs like when they're getting all amped up or worried about like another dog or animal passing through the yard, right?
Or people like
So how their fur raises, right? Because they're on a certain level.
mm-hmm.
Once that situation is done and calm, you'll see them do that little shake and their fur drops. It's because they've dropped that energy out and they've gotten rid of it, so they're not holding on to it.
Okay.
I think that's something that I think a lot of people, not just kids, teenagers, or adults, I think people need to learn how to do that. All right, so what would be your hype or workout song?
My hyper workout song would probably be No Scrub by TLC.
I like that.
I have a reason for it, but I don't.
You want to talk about it? Okay. So mine would be right now is I'm So Messy by Lola Young.
Oh gosh.
Okay. The second one is what song helped you through a lot?
Probably Rises the Moon by Liana Flores. I can't pronounce her name right. I don't know if I did.
Okay.
But it's been my favorite song for a long time, and it's very calming.
I think Avril Lavigne's early albums, the 2002 and 4 albums, helped me through a lot.
Okay.
What songs get you in your feels?
Fade Into You by I can't pronounce her name.
Yes, what can I do for you?
I did not say Pure Code.
The Heater.
But my song that gets me in my feels is Fade Into You by Maisie Star. I don't know if it's Maisie Star or Mazzy Star.
Oh, okay. Mine would be
Please turn on the heater first.
will you unplug the heater?
Yes. Anyways.
Mine would be My Immortal by Evanescence.
Okay.
So what song favorite song by a new artist?
So I've currently been listening to
Or just a new artist in general?
yeah, I've currently been listening to Color Vision, which very good band. Only has like 46 monthly listeners. But my favorite song from them is Reasonable Man.
Okay. I couldn't decide on this one. So new artist, I was going back and forth between Bryce Savage and Rory. I like them both. I like that I can sing along and be in my feels with Rory, but I like that I can sing along and be in my other feelings with Bryce Savage. So then the next one is, what song fit your childhood?
I had two answers for this because I couldn't choose.
Okay.
Probably either Hey There Delilah. I don't know really why. It reminds me of my childhood. Or
Yeah.
Complicated by Avril Lavigne.
Okay. What about your teen years?
That like relates more.
Yeah, just anything that reminds you of your
Complicated by Avril
Okay,
Lavigne.
so that's why you chose that one.
Yeah.
Okay. So the one for my childhood would be The House That Built Me by Miranda Lambert.
Okay.
Teen years would probably be Broken Wing by Martina McBride.
Mm-hmm.
And then my early 20s would probably be Survivor by Reba.
A single mom who works 2 jobs. I can't sing that.
So
I don't know if
that's right.
No, I said I don't know if that's can't remember.
Accurate?
No. That's allowed on YouTube.
Oh, no, you're fine. People do covers all the time on YouTube.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. So then what music would you listen to while you like to cruise?
I listen, like, my favorite genre is indie, but I feel like here recently I've mostly been listening to Ben Queller. I don't know. I just like his music a lot.
Yeah. I couldn't really pick one specific one. I just chose whatever I can sing to and vibe to, depending on my mood that day, because that's what I choose. That's how I choose music most of
Yeah.
the time, is what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And then a song that reminds you of me, or artist, or whatever.
Not a lot, just forever by Adriana Linker.
What?
Not a lot, just forever by Adriana Linker.
I don't know that one.
I'll show you it later.
Oh. And I couldn't pick between Rob Zombie and Lana Del Rey for you.
Speaking of Rob Zombie, got my Rob Zombie shirt on.
Oh, you do?
There was one question you did skip
Oh,
over.
what'd I skip?
One song that has many meanings to you.
What's that one?
For me or for you?
For you.
I have two different answers again because I can't really pick. Scott Pilgrim versus by GPA by Mom Jeans or All I Wanted by Paramore.
I like that. I don't know the first one. I know the second one.
The first one,
Song that has many meanings for me. I don't know.
none.
I can't think of anything. My mind goes blank when I go to do these, so.
Well, that's fine.
So that's the only one I did answer.
Okay.
Are you surprised by my answers?
Yes, I'm surprised that I remind you of Lana Del Rey or like
Well,
Rob
it's not
Zombie.
that you remind me of
But,
Lana,
like-
but like when I hear it or her name, it just, Caden likes Lana Del Rey, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about those emotions and how they get stuck with us, right?
Mhm.
Another way to view that is everybody has their own personal balloon, right? So each stress, you blow air into it, it builds up, right? When you work through that stress, the air comes back out of the balloon, so it's empty. But if you don't, that air stays in that balloon because you didn't work it out, and then you get another stress on you, and it builds up some more. You didn't work through it, and then life throws another stress at you, and it builds up some more. And then say, you work through it all, and then the air comes out. So you might be back to normal, but because of all the stressors and because you didn't work through things, that balloon is a little stressed out. It's stretchier than what it was when you first started, right?
Yeah.
So does that make sense on how the limiting beliefs can pile up? Because if you constantly are adding that, remember how I say you're like a time bomb? If you keep shoving all that emotion down and you explode, it's like a balloon. Each traumatic thing, you blow a little air into that balloon, eventually it's going to pop, right?
Mhm.